Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my updated foundation routine. These are just products I've been really loving lately and I've just been doing this a lot. So I thought I would show you guys. I've had a few questions and I figured I would just show you. It is kind of a mixture of drugstore and high-end, but of course you can switch out whatever products you want to use. Also, if you've emailed me or tweeted me, whatever, about the bombshell code for Nume, which is the one where you can get 2 of these wands for $100. The code did expire, so I do apologize, but they did give me another one that is active till October 1st. So I'll put that down below. You can check it out and you can get 2 wands for $100. So if you want to see my current foundation routine, then just keep watching. So the first step in my foundation routine is primers. And I've already done this because I like my primers to kind of just seep into my skin. So I let them sit for a little bit after I applied them, like I'll do my hair or something. But the primers I like to use are these two. I've talked about them before. It's the Benefit POREfessional, which is a great pore minimizing primer. All I do is just twist it up, squeeze them out, take some on my finger, and press this into the larger pores that I have, and it helps really fill them in and make them look a lot smaller. This doesn't keep me as matte as I wish it would, so I do go in with this one. This is the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Refine Zone Treatment, and this is also great at pore minimizing and keeping your skin really matte. I love this product. I think it's amazing. It hasn't broken me out, nothing like that, so I really do enjoy it. Now, as you can see, my face is a lot lighter than my body, and that is because I don't self-tan my face. I just don't like to do it. I'm afraid I'll break out. I have super sensitive skin, and I'm just not putting any self-tanner on my face. That's what foundation's for, right? So, the foundation I will be using today is the Covergirl 3-in-1 foundations. I have the colors 855 Soft Honey and Golden Tan. Now, I just did self-tan, so I'll be mixing these two together. And then for today, I'm going to be using my Beauty Blender. My Beauty Blender is by far my favorite product to use for foundation, just because it really makes your skin look flawless. It puts the foundation on amazingly, and it adds like a thin layer, but it covers everything. So that's what I like. I like a thin layer of foundation, but I still want that, full coverage finish. And I find that this product does that for me. So I'm just going to start with the bottom half of my face and put this all over. Now, sometimes when you're self-tanning, it is hard to get your face to match your body. That's what bronzer's for. Sometimes you can't get it exactly right, but you can always bronze up your skin and make it look, like it matches a little bit more. So I'm just pouncing this on my skin, and I love this foundation because it's really lightweight, but it still gives you great coverage. It's by far my favorite foundation in the drugstore. It's so good. And then using it with the Beauty Blender, it's like even better. I love it. So that is it for the foundation. Now we're going to move on to concealers. And I have 2 favorites, one from the drugstore and one that is high-end. My favorite from the drugstore is this Jane Cosmetics concealer. I've been using it so much this month. It is so good. The color I have is in light, and I like this. This is also a great everyday concealer because I find that this light shade isn't super light underneath my eyes, so it doesn't give like a really dramatic highlight. By far, my favorite concealers is the MAC Prolongwear concealers. I have NC20 and NC30. I adore these. They will last you so long. If you're going out and you want a long-lasting concealer, or if you're working a really long work day, I think this is what you should try because they really do last forever. They don't sink into your fine lines, and it just gives a nice flawless look underneath your eyes. It's really, really good. So I'm actually going to use the Jane one today from Jane Cosmetics. Now, the amount of concealer you want to do is completely up to you, but I like my concealer, so I am going to put it in like a triangle motion underneath my eyes. I find that this gives, it gives better coverage. Like if I have some more redness peeking through, this will help cover it even more. And I think it looks a lot better doing it in the upside down triangle, because if you just do like a little bit underneath here, sometimes you'll get that oval shading underneath your eyes. I like to just apply in an upside down triangle motion take it in here into the inner corner, up a little bit on the lid, because I get really, really dark in the inner part of my eye. And I take a little bit down the sides of my nose. And again, I am going to take my beauty blender, and I'm just going to pat this into my skin. And you can just see that that concealer really sets in nicely, and it just looks so flawless. I love it. And I also drag it kind of over my lids too, just to help conceal any veins or discoloration. As I've gotten older, I've noticed more veins kind of showing up on my lids, but my primer that I use for my eyelids, which is MAC Pink Pot and Soft Ochre, that really helps camouflage them as well. But I just like a little bit to go on the lids, not a lot, because sometimes with my oily eyelids, they'll get a little bit more greasy throughout the day if I put too much concealer on them. And that is concealer done. So now we're moving on to powder. Now the powder I love to use to set my under eye area is this Makeup Forever Super Matte Loose powder, and they're actually discontinuing it, which completely sucks, but this is a great powder. I recommend a nice finely milled powder for your under eye area. I'm on the hunt for another great powder that I just am obsessed with, like the Makeup Forever one. So let me know if you have any recommendations, because I'm like completely out of this. As you can see, I'm like scraping the bottle, or scraping the jar to get the extra stuff out. Now the one I usually use to set my under eye area is the Sigma Taper Kabuki F86, but I actually washed all of my brushes and my beauty blenders last night, so this one is still wet, so I'm not going to use that today. I'm just going to use this Real Techniques contour brush just because it's kind of tapered and it's dry. And I'm just going to set my under eye with this. So just tap off any excess and then apply. I can't believe I'm out of it. This is a translucent powder, so it's not going to add any extra coverage. It's just going to set that makeup that we put on. Now to set the rest of my face makeup, I am going to use this one. This is the Dior Air Flash Matte Touch. If you have very oily skin, you should try this. If you have combo skin with dry patches, don't try this. If you have dry skin, don't try this, because it is a mattifying powder and it will cling to your dry patches. I had a dry patch on my skin not too long ago, and I used this and it clinged to it, and I was like, oh no. So if you have dry skin, stay away from this, but if you're very oily like myself, you need to try it. I do believe they only have one shade of this, but it does have like a beige color to it. And then what I like to do is I like to spray my brush with it, tap off any excess, and then I just pat it into my skin. And this powder will make you look seriously flawless and keep you matte for the longest time. Now it does have a scent to it. I like it. It's kind of like a nice fresh scent. But if you're very sensitive with scented products, I don't think I would recommend this for you. And I find that this powder does add a little bit of extra coverage, but not much. Now you can spray it directly on your face if you want to, but I find that it looks a little too powdery when I do that. So that's why I spray it on the brush and then apply it. And it just gives a nice kind of flawless finish to the skin. Now for bronzer, I'm going to be using my current favorite bronzer. This is the NYC Sun and Bronze Bronzing Powder. That's what it looks like. And this is in Mauntak Bronze. And I'm going to be using my MAC brush with this. It is the MAC 134 or 134. Just going to put some on my brush and just bronze my skin. I like this bronzer because it's a really pretty shade and it doesn't look like orange or anything. I really do like it. And it's like, what, $4? So affordable. Take a little bit down my neck when I'm bronzing. Go to the tops of my forehead. Do a little bit on my chin too, because I find when I bronze my skin and I don't hit my chin, it looks a little odd. It's a really good bronzer. I've been using it so much. Another one of my favorite bronzers is this Jane Cosmetics bronzer. This is in Empower, and I like this to contour. So I'm going to take that brush we used before from Real Techniques. This is the contour brush, and I'm just going to tap off any excess and contour a little bit more with this just to give me a more defined look. My forehead, because I got a big forehead, so gotta contour that guy. And then I take a little bit, sometimes I'll contour my nose. I haven't mastered it yet, so I'm not going to show you guys how I do it, but I am going to show you my lip. I put a little bit underneath my lip just to make it look a little bit more pouty. Just like that. Contouring does great things, you guys. Great things. I'm going to wipe the excess on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to blend out that contour that we just did. Just like that. And now time for blush. I don't have really a blush that I go to every single time because I have so many in my drawer that I just kind of switch them out. So the blush I'll be using today is from NARS. This is actually the Foreplay palette. I got it a while back and I just haven't shown it enough love. So I'm going to use Orgasm from this blush palette. And it does have two other shades that you can mix in like a golden highlight, but I usually just go for the Orgasm color because it's really pretty and goes with a lot of different looks. So just put this on my cheeks. I do like to kind of press the blush into my skin, and I don't bring it onto my apples just because I don't like the way that looks. So I just kind of press it here along my cheeks, and then I take my Real Technique brush and blend out the blush and contour. And then that's pretty much it. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like it and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you in my next video. Bye. And I actually like this color on its own, but since this look was so dark with the eyes, I kind of wanted to lighten it up. So I just used MAC's Creme de Nude over top, which I love, and then my NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee, just to make my lips look nice and shiny and plump. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video.